Hello, everyone. So happy that you are chiming in. We're going to get started with our training in 2 minutes. It's how to lose weight as we reach middle age. Yes, it can be difficult, and you're going to see why. But we have solutions. That's what this is all about. So I'm going to call Rona because she likes me to call her to listen to these trainings. She doesn't have a computer, so I just give her a ring. So she can be part of this too. Hey, Rona. She's going to answer in 2 seconds. Hello, Rona. Hi. So
hold on. I got my brother on the other line. I put him on hold. If I lose you, call me back.
I'm going to be in training, so I won't be able to do that, but I'm going to keep it the line. We're live right now, and we're just waiting for everyone to chime in.
Yeah, but I'm talking about right this minute. I don't know when.
Okay. So I've got 3 people popping on. That's great. I'd love to know. Oh, we got Tamara here. Woohoo. Hey, Tamara. So glad you're here. So yeah, she already knows what I'm going to ask, which is your name and where you're calling from and what their temperature is there today. So Tamara, I can't remember where she is. She's somewhere in the States. And it's 63 degrees Fahrenheit there. So here in Playa del Carmen, it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so Rona is chiming in. She says that there's 0 degrees in Kelowna, BC, which is where we just came from. And it snowed last night. That's awesome.
Vancouver had big snow. We don't have big snow, but Vancouver is in a mess because of the amount of snow they got.
Okay, so Vancouver, Rona's reporting that Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, had a big snowfall. So it's kind of neat. You're snowbound. It's kind of like you feel cozy when that happens. I remember those days. And that's usually when I dive into a book or watch these kind of trainings now, right? Which is great. So we've got someone from Northern California, Facebook user. Love to know your name, please. I know where you're calling from, but what is the weather there in Northern California? I think the reason why I'm asking you all about the weather is because that's one of the reasons why my family and I relocated to Mexico was I was just, tired of the snow and I wanted to have more sun. So you can see I've got a tan. It's because I'm out on the beach a lot. Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. I lost you and I don't know how to not on the screen.
Okay, it's 3:01. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the training now. And as you guys pop on, let me know your name, who you're calling from, and the temperature there. Okay, so I'm going to start the training right now. It's being recorded. Okay. So for those who don't know who I am, usually I have my sidekick here. So if you're wondering where my husband Reese is, he needed to take a quick trip over to immigration as we are getting our 3-year temporary resident visa here. We went from a 1-year to a 3-year, and then you go to a 4-year and permanent. So he had to scoot off. So sorry that he's not here. It's just me as a solo sode. But again, I don't like to be a talking head. I always stop the training partway through, ask you guys some questions, have you comment about some information I'm going to share with you, which is really, really game changing today, because I'm going to get into a little bit of science today to give you an understanding of kind of what's going on as we age and why it can be very difficult to lose the weight that we packed on. Okay. So I think you're going to really find today interesting if you are a science geeky person, or if you just like to know about nutrition and health, okay, and the science behind that. So anyways, he's not here. I'm here solo, but he is hoping to chime in as a Facebook user. He's in immigration, and maybe add some comments or questions. So remember, there's never a bad question or a silly question or a comment, because if you have it, other people have it too. Okay, this is a learning platform. All right, and so our goal is to help make it easy for you to get fit and healthy. Okay, so that is, and I know it can be difficult as we reach middle age, which is why we're talking about this topic today. So I'm going to get right to it right now. And I'm going to grab my screen. So one moment, please. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm going to see if you can, just one sec. Okay, good. All right, so hopefully on the screen you can see the best weight loss tips for the middle-aged. Feel 20 again. So I'm going to wait till that comes up, and I'm going to start the training. Oh, good, it is. Awesome. Okay, so again, my name is Michelle Hart. I am a clinical nutritionist, a detox specialist. I've been in the game for 22 years, and I love to help individuals who want to start to feel good again, basically body transformations. And one of my biggest strengths is to help you burn fat, build muscle, and help you look and feel 10 years younger. In fact, today, what you're going to learn, if you follow the strategy, you actually can really reverse aging as of today if you take action, okay? And so just to be clear on what exactly you're going to learn, you're going to learn three things. The first one is the top 3 reasons why we tend to gain weight as we reach middle age, because you may be wondering, like, what's going on? Why can't I eat the way I did when I was younger and still stay slim? Why am I packing on the weight? And why can't I lose it? The second thing you're going to learn today is actually what metabolism is. We're going to define it, because really this is really about metabolism, right? We're going to get clear on what that meaning really is. And the third thing we're going to learn today is how to boost up the metabolism so that you can start to melt away the fat, because it does work pretty quickly, well, very quickly, and keep it off though for good this time. Okay, there's going to be 5 ways I'm going to share how to do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you started and inspired. This is what so I've been in clinical practice 22 years, and I love to see individuals go from, fat to fit. And that's actually Mike, I have to say. And Mike I just posted him on YouTube. We did an interview. He is a superstar, literally a superstar. And basically when Mike came to me, he was over 65. And he came to me because his wife was already on the program and she was getting great results. So he wanted to feel as good as her. But really what happened was he reached retirement and he just lost hope for anything. He was kind of depressed. He didn't really know what to do. He was bored, really. And he didn't have a sense of purpose. And so he's like, well, what am I going to do in retirement? Like, I have all this time, but I don't really feel like doing anything, but I should be feeling like doing something. And the other piece of this whole puzzle was he had grandkids. And he noticed that when he was with his grandkids, he didn't really have the energy to play with them. He didn't have the energy to take care of them. And he wanted to contribute to the family, right? He didn't want to be a burden. Really, that was it. He knew he had something more to give. And so he reached out to me and we got started. Anyways, he came to me depressed and really tired, very overweight, to feeling like he's literally 20 again. He had 100% life turnaround. So again, this is someone who followed what you're going to learn today, and he got his life back. In fact, now he has a sense of purpose. He's so excited. He can take care of his grandkids, loves his grandkids, take care of them, hangs out with his wife. They go hiking, and they're very active. And he's finishing the projects that he wanted to finish. So he is on top of the world. If you have a chance, I would highly recommend you go to my YouTube channel, or even go into Facebook, the community that you're in right now, and watch his story. It's only 23 minutes, but literally, if this doesn't motivate you and inspire you to reach your next level, I don't know what will, because he dropped 70 pounds, 70 pounds. Okay. He was 65. So if he can do it, so can you. You may not have 70 pounds, maybe you have 5, 10, 20, 50, whatever. You can do it. Okay. I'm going to start also though with, yes, aesthetically, maybe it may not, having this extra weight may not look like you want to look, but at the same time, it's actually harming your health. And if we don't really take a look at this, then, it may lead to things you may not want to see. All right. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about today is actually research based. So These are the actual long-term effects of weight gain as we reach middle age. According to JAMA, at July 18th, 2017, this is very recent. I mean, we're only at 2022. Obesity and excessive weight gain in young adults. So there was a recent study of more than 100,000 people. That's a lot. Gaining as little as 11 pounds from early childhood to 55 was linked to the following. So these are the long-term effects of weight gain if we don't start taking care of it and it keeps climbing. 30% increased risk of type 2 diabetes. That may not sound like something that you haven't heard before. You probably heard about as you gain weight, you start to become, diabetic, and from type 2 to type 1. Okay. But it's not just that. It's not just, okay, I have blood sugar dysregulation. It's actually more than that, because having blood sugar dysregulation or type 2 diabetes is also associated with a higher likelihood of being diagnosed with cardiovascular disease. That's the number one killer, okay? High blood pressure, cancers. Okay, we learned of another cancer today, and it was like, literally, it's like, it affects you, but it affects, if you have it, but it affects so many other people around you, right? So cancers, cataracts, so you can't really see properly. It's like looking through, I'm not sure, but I know I've heard of people that have that where you can't really see, it gets all blurry. And osteoarthritis, so that means you're walking around with pain all the time. So that super sucks, right? But we can avoid all this. And the comments from the researchers were suffering from any of these conditions can ultimately lead to early death. Okay, I don't know about you, but I know Mike had a lot of things he wanted to do. What do you want to do? Like, you've still got all this time on this planet. Remember, the world is your playground. There's so much more to do. Okay, I would look at it like a playground and start to have fun again. But to do that, we actually want to likely have the energy for that and the mobility. Okay, so let's go into why is it that we actually gain weight as we get older? Why is it so difficult to lose it? Why is this all packing on? This is likely you right now. That's why you're watching this, or maybe someone you know that you want to help. Okay, what are the reasons why we are gaining all this weight? Okay. Well, I'm going to walk you through 3 top reasons why we gain weight at middle age or like higher, right? So how often do you see older people overweight? All the time. Did we see this before? Not so much. What's going on? Okay, what's going on? Well, the first thing is number 1, why we are gaining weight as we get older. The research shows from Science, this is from Science Daily, September 9th, 2019. There was a research out of the Karolinska Institute in Sweden. And what they uncovered, and they shared this information in actually Nature, but Science Daily reported it, was our ability, the number one reason is our ability to burn fat does decrease. I know it's gut-wrenching, isn't it? It super sucks, because here we are, we want to do so many things, but we start to pack on the fat. We do, but it happens as you age. Just know it is a natural process, okay? Yeah, so lipid turnover in the fat cells decreases during aging and makes it easier to gain weight. So just so you know, it's stacked against you. It is, because we age. That's what's going on, okay? That's a fact. And so what is lipid turnover? The rate at which the lipid or fat in the fat cells is removed and stored. So that rate has decreased. That means you're storing it at a greater rate. So know that this is happening. It is a fact, okay? And the science, it was actually a long-term study. So the scientists studied the fat cells in 54 men and women over an average period of 13 years. That's a long-standing study. Okay. And so, yeah, so our ability to burn fat does decrease. Okay. The second reason why we are having a really more challenging time to lose weight as we age is because our ability to balance blood sugar does become dysregulated. Okay. So what's happened is we have blood sugar swings. Okay. And this was a study that was in the Colorado State University Center for Healthy Living. Okay. And what they found was blood sugar. Okay. When you eat, your blood sugar is going to go up. Okay. That's a natural response. Insulin gets released by the pancreas and says, oh, there's some food coming. There's some food coming. We got to release insulin because we want to shuttle this energy into, where it needs to go, because it's going to circulate it around, right? And it primarily goes into the liver and the muscles first. Okay. So we're going to get to that later. And then whatever excess you have will get stored as body fat because it doesn't need it. It's going to store it for later use, right? So just know every time you eat, the blood sugar is going to go up. That's a natural response, okay? So when we're young, our bodies quickly, it gets rid of the blood sugar very, very quickly. Why? Because we're growing, because our body requires more calories. It needs it to grow. And so it's going to use it very quickly. It's going to shuttle it around for the body to grow, like how fast babies grow. It's incredible, right? So as we're young, our bodies are growing. So we metabolize our blood sugar very quickly. As you remember, likely when you're a kid, you can eat anything you want and not gain weight. I remember those days. Oh my gosh. And that's likely why a lot of kids eat a lot of sugar, because they don't really notice it. They don't really feel it. They don't pack it on. Okay. But as we get older, it stays in our bloodstream longer. That is a fact. Okay. We have to know this is happening. Our blood sugar becomes dysregulated. Okay. And so, yeah. So again, it leads to things like diabetes. And what this research paper showed, it matters because diabetes can have many complications, including cardiovascular disease, stroke, chronic kidney failure, and damage to the feet and the eyes. What a trade-off, right? I mean, do we want it to go that far? You can actually turn this around, and today, okay, just like Mike did. Mike turned it around right away, right? And now he's loving life, okay? So that's the second one. Now, the third one is, this is a fact. Inflammation goes up as we age. It isn't a fact as we age. So here, this was a study, DNA methylation and protein markers of chronic inflammation and their associations with brain and cognitive aging. This was at a ResearchGate November 2021, very, very recent. So this is actually what was happening with Mike. So when Mike came to me, he had premature dementia. So they studied him and they found that he was losing his memory. He couldn't put his sentences together. He had all these things. He was getting scared. And so when he came to me, I worked on him for about a year and a half, but he has no signs of dementia. In fact, they said, the doctors were saying after they scanned him just recently, they said, you know what, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Okay. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. He's doing what you're going to learn today. Okay. So for him, it affected his brain. For you, it's affecting other things. Maybe it's your joints. Maybe it's other things. Maybe you're depressed. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you have lots of pain. I don't know, but it's because the inflammation goes up, and it naturally goes up as we age. Okay. This is a natural thing. So I just talked about 3 reasons why we tend to gain weight as we age. So I'm going to stop this before I get into some solutions, because I'm going to see if there's any aha moments, anything that came up as I was sharing that information, anything going on. Any questions, any comments on the 3 reasons why we actually gain weight as we age? Any questions, any comments? If not, I'm going to keep going. So Tamara is in Tamara's in Northern California. Okay, good. Okay, so there's no question or comment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the training and I'm going to continue on. Okay. Here we go. So here's the thing. We know that there's a problem. We know that as we age, these things are going on. But it doesn't mean that, once we know what's going on, we can actually find solutions for that. And you're going to learn that today. So what can we do to stop gaining weight and feel 20 again? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually we're going to dive deeper into this metabolism piece, because really that's what we need to do. We need to get the metabolism back up humming. Okay. And so let's talk about even what is metabolism. What does that actually mean? Metabolism defined is all the chemical processes that convert carbohydrates, proteins, and fats from your food. So you're converting food into energy that you need to just do daily life. That means just being, okay? And it's called basal metabolic rate, okay? That's your metabolic rate at rest. Your body needs to be able to function, okay? And so we're going to want to make sure that we can raise that so that you can actually eat more calories and not gain weight, okay? And there is a way to do that, okay? And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about 5 ways that you can boost your metabolism to lose weight and keep it off for good. Well, the first one is number 1, okay? Muscle is your metabolic engine. The more muscle you have, the easier it is for you to lose weight and keep it off for life. Hands down, 100%. You are losing muscle every day, especially what they're saying is the research actually shows that after the age of 30, things start to go down. I know. And we start to pack on 1-2 pounds a year after that, if we don't start to do things. And the reason for that mainly also is because we're losing muscle. Okay. And then when we lose muscle, we're less active. All these things are happening. So just know that an easy way to boost your metabolism is to get that metabolic engine back up. Okay. So you can eat more food and not gain weight. Because here's the thing. We have to really be mindful of this. Number 1, the holidays are coming. There is going to be, you got to really have good willpower to not eat more food, honestly, because it's going to be around you. It's going to be delicious. Your aunt, Joy had made her best, pie that you're going to want to have. Maybe Uncle John has, done his best potato salad that you're going to want to munch on. There's going to be a lot of food, and it's going to be made with love, right? And you're going to want to have some because it's going to be delicious, and that's likely their signature meals. So, and the holidays is the time to enjoy more food. It is. You're with your family, your friends, and you will be surrounded by lots of food. Okay. So know this is going to happen, right? And how many people gain weight over the holidays? If that's you, it's pretty common, okay, because of all the food, right? It's right there. So I highly recommend we start thinking about this now. You have 30 days, okay? And that's enough time to actually get to build muscle, okay? Go and do something. It's called resistance training, ideally lifting weights. You could do whole body workouts like with yoga. Maybe you can do some swimming, whatever you pick, just, be consistent, okay? Because that's the key is to pick something you like to do. Because if you like to do it, you're going to be consistent. And that's the best exercise for you. So pick something, though, that will tell the body to send the signal to make more muscle. So that means lifting heavy things with good form and without pain. You need to build muscle. Otherwise, you will lose muscle and your metabolic engine. And in time, you won't be able to eat very much food because you'll actually start to gain weight because you're muscle wasting. Okay. Muscle is your metabolic engine. Muscle, also, the more muscle you have on the body, the better your immune system, because the muscle they release myokines, and myokines really help to support a balanced immune system. So if you're concerned about getting viruses and bacteria and all these kind of things, one of the best ways to prevent illness is to get stronger. It is. Yeah. And it looks good too. Aesthetically, I mean, when you see muscle on someone, they really stand out, right? And it feels better. It doesn't jiggle. So, and not only that, it lifts your mood doing this kind of exercise, and you feel firmer. So if you have saggy skin, of course, our skin starts to sag as we get older. I know, I'm experiencing that myself. I saw some pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I had saggy skin. I do. I'm 55. It's what's happening. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, which is building muscle, being active, and doing all the things you're going to learn today. But really, we need to build muscle. You build muscle to burn the fat. Otherwise, you look like a skinny fat, and that's not so attractive. Plus, it's not good for you. So let's all think about getting into some resistance training, strength training. If you need help, there are coaches out there that can help you. I'm one of them, because really you want to make sure that you're doing putting the time into it. You want to make sure that you're getting something out of it, okay? Because you could be doing the wrong thing. So I highly recommend use some resources and have someone show you a proper program, like the one that I have for my clients. It's all mapped out for them, okay? So I highly recommend that. Number 2, to boost your metabolism so that you can lose weight and keep it off for good. This is number 2. Okay, we need to eat our calories earlier in the day than at night, okay? And this is all to do with circadian rhythm. What I mean by that is your body needs to break down the foods that you eat. And it naturally produces more, what we call the stomach, releases hydrochloric acid, more of that during the day than at night. Why is that important to know that your stomach releases more hydrochloric acid during the day than at night? Well, because you need hydrochloric acid to break down your food. And so when you eat more food during the day, it's easier for you to break it down because you have more hydrochloric acid. That's the body's natural way of being. Okay. So we want to work with the body instead of against it. Working with the body is eating most of your calories during the day and less at night. Okay. Because you have less stomach acid. Plus what happens is at night you go to bed. And if you're eating just before bed, you're asking the body to store fat because you're not moving to be able to use the food as energy. It's storing the energy as fat. I don't make the rules. All I do is share them. So this is all to do with circadian rhythms, okay? You are run by clocks. Your stomach has a clock, and the clock is telling it to release stomach acid during the day, okay? So we want to eat our calories like a big breakfast. So whatever time you start your first meal, make sure it's a good, hefty meal, and then less at night, okay? So we're going to get now into number 3. Number 3, how to boost metabolism, keep the weight off for good. Number 3, eat protein-rich meals. So here we talked about building muscle by strength training. Well, we need to feed the muscle. We don't feed it with fat. We don't feed it with carbs. No, it needs amino acids. That's protein. So we need to be very mindful every time you eat protein, okay? Because if you're going to put the time into building muscle, which I hope you are, we've got to fuel the muscle with protein. The other thing with protein is we talked about insulin being, a fat storage hormone. Protein stimulates in the body glucagon, fat burning, okay? Because what happens is it's very satiating. It doesn't raise blood sugar, something like carbohydrates would, like, fruit or, grains, those kind of things. We need to think about protein every time you eat. We need to eat enough protein every time we eat. So I've got a picture here of a breakfast. We got a bunch of eggs. Eggs are one of the best protein sources you can consume. They're a perfect food, okay? And they're really good for the brain, right? And eat the whole egg, not just the egg whites. The yolk is full of choline, phosphatidylcholine. What do we know that for? Brain health. So let's think about having more eggs. Can you eat too many eggs? Only if your body says, I don't want any more. No, it's not going to raise cholesterol. That's a whole other story. Other things raise cholesterol, certainly not your foods, unless it's processed or sugar. So, but real whole foods are not going to increase your cholesterol. We can talk about that another time, but really, no, it's not going to, okay? So we've got to think about having protein-rich meals. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop the share, and I'm going to go back to see if you guys have any more questions on what I've just been sharing, because I actually shared just a whole bunch of stuff. We talked about, why we gain weight. The solution is to boost the metabolism, how we're going to boost the metabolism. And I talked about some solutions. So I have here Kathy from Northern California. So Kathy, thank you for joining, Kathy. That's awesome. So 48 degrees there. That's, yeah, a bit cold. But you know what? Hey, when it's cold, you're burning more fat. And you know what? What we want to make sure is, even though it is cold outside, we still need to get outside. That's the key. Because we are from nature, we need to be in nature. It's going to help circadian rhythms, help you burn fat. It'll help you actually lose weight. So I really appreciate you chiming in, Kathy. And hopefully Rona's still on the phone. And she's listening to all this as well. It's nice to have you all here. If there's any questions, comments, nothing, I'm going to go back to number 4 then, and how we're going to be able to lose weight as we reach middle age and keep it off for life so you feel 20 again. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that. Okay, so number 4, how we're going to boost the metabolism, lose weight, and keep it off for good. Well, we need to stay on track. Here's the thing. This is what I see often so many times. We get started. It's like the honeymoon period. You're all excited. You're motivated. You've got something to start with. And then what happens? You know what? The honeymoon's over, right? And now it's like, oh, you look at the way it really is, and which is good, because this is where the learning is. It's why we stick with things. But really, if you keep falling off track, that's a mental game, okay? And it's easy to fall off track unless you have an accountability partner. Like, what do you think? It is, it's true. So whether you hire a coach or you have a partner that you both do things together, maybe a friend, really, it's easy to fall off track. Why? Because we are lazy. It's just how we are. We just want the easy way out. That's normal. Of course we do. We want the simple, easy. But you know, that may not be good sometimes, right? So it's hard to, you know, stay on track sometimes and be healthy and eat healthy and exercise and get outside and get those walks, unless you have some other people that are doing it too. Then it's like fun and easy, and you feel like you're with other people doing it. So, and then you see the results. It's consistency that wins the race every single time. So if you're somebody who keeps falling off track, I mean, that must be disappointing. It's easy to get back on and stay on. Just find an accountability partner, okay? Remember, consistency. Remember, it's not the one rep that builds the muscle. It's the consistency in the gym that builds the muscle, right? So I highly, highly recommend that you explore that, okay? So here we're going to get to number 5. This is the last one. So number 5 is how to boost metabolism, lose weight, and keep it off for good. You must get a good sleep. Hey, I want you to think about what happens when you don't. Well, you're not going to really, accomplish very easily the first 4 that I went through, right? So how easy is it to, go to the gym if you're tired? Well, it's not, it's actually more difficult, isn't it? Do you want to? Probably not. How easy it is to take a bit of time to make a homemade meal. Well, especially with protein, it takes time, a little bit of time, right? Well, do you want to do that when you're that tired? Maybe not. Maybe it's easier for you to call DoorDash, or maybe get something microwaved or something like that. I don't know, but you're looking for a kind of an easy way out. And also, don't you find that you crave more sugar when you haven't had a good sleep? Well, we know that sugar is going to lead to blood sugar dysregulation, which then leads to diabetes. It is inevitable. So, but sleeping can help support all that and getting a good sleep. How often is it, do you fall off track if you haven't had a good sleep? See, sleep is critical. It's paramount. So getting a good sleep is absolutely important. Okay. And if not, you actually do wake up slightly diabetic. That's just how it is. Blood sugar dysregulation, and everything falls off the rails. So if you need help with sleep, find someone to help you. I'm here for you if you are looking for something like that. But for sure, make sure you protect your sleep. You guard your sleep. For me, this is so key. So I still tell you, I super protect my sleep. What happened for me was, and I'll stop this for a sec, share a little story. Oh, yeah. So I had 2 boys together, Tristan and Trey. You probably have seen them, maybe photos of them or whatever. But I had no sleep when they're 3.5 years apart. And I remember I gave him everything I had because I wanted to, and I'm so glad I did. Like every ounce of energy I had was all for them. And I had no sleep. I had no sleep for like at least 5 years, no sleep. And I still went ahead because my mental and attitude is really strong. But I remember how trashed I felt. I was so tired. And after the boys started to get older, I'm like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is actually start to learn how to sleep again because I am like so tired. And it took a bit of time. It did, but I learned how to do it. And I put up my boundaries with my family. Okay, I'm going to protect my sleep. So I need it this way because I never had sleep for 5 years and I feel like an old hag and I want to feel good again. So I feel amazing now, but really I had to learn how. And when you can get a good sleep and you consistently get a good sleep, you feel like you've been at the spa like over and over and over again. It's everything changes. It's incredible. So I feel 20. I really do. And if you're still struggling, then I highly recommend that you learn how to sleep again. Okay. And protect it because everything will change. Your life will change. Okay. So I thought I'd chime in on that one. Okay. So I'm going to go back to finish and if anyone has any questions or comments, please chime them in. And Rona, you can ask them as well. I think you're still on there. I sure hope so. We love our Rona. So, I guess my question to you is, have you learned anything? Okay. Have you learned anything from today's talk? Maybe I opened up the eyes to why you are gaining weight. It's an actual fact. Yes, you are going to, unless you change things. Okay. It's inevitable. Metabolism, yes, it slows down, but we know how to turn it around, right? We know how to turn it around. So yes, you can learn these things, but I highly recommend not just learning, but actually taking one action step, just one. Find one out of everything I've just shared with you and do it. And just pick one. Otherwise, it's too overwhelming. Just pick one and stick to it until you've done it. So what I'm going to do to help you out right now is I'm actually going to review the 5 top ways to lose weight after middle age and feel 20 again. Well, the first one was make sure you do whatever you can to build muscle. Okay. I believe Bruce Lee didn't even hit the gym. He just did whole body workouts. So you don't have to lift weights if you don't like that. I love it because it's easy. I go to the gym, I get motivated. I see really healthy people there. They're extremely nice. I've made some friends, which is nice here in Mexico because Reese and I are, new here. We've only been here a year. And we want to be around like-minded people that are valuing health, valuing their body, taking the time to better themselves. And man, they're just really nice people. So we've made some really good friendships. So I highly recommend, hit a gym. I mean, COVID's over. Listen, the gyms are open. So it's the time. Okay. I know you're going to love it. Okay. Once you start hearing the music, you have a program that you can follow, make sure that you do, or hire a trainer. You will be so happy that you did. Okay. So the second one is think about having most of your calories earlier in the day instead of late at night. And so that does mean if you are eating late at night, then a really good strategy, because I was doing this actually, a really good strategy is to turn that around by the first meal. Because if you're eating really heavy at night and little in the morning, keep that morning, the first meal, maybe a little bit lighter than you were before so that you actually start to get hungrier earlier. That's how I was able to do it because I had to turn things around by doing that. So I ate less to be able to be more hungry for later. And then I was able to eat earlier and then go to bed earlier. So I'm actually practicing that now because I got into a really bad routine where I was eating way too much too late. And so now I'm working on turning that around because it takes time, but still I have that as a goal. So I hope that this has really helped you. Number 3 is eat protein-rich meals. Because remember, if you're going to ask the body to build muscle, you need to give it the building blocks to build it. So every time you eat, think about where is my protein source, okay? Number 4, stay on track. So accountability partner, do you have one now? Do you have a coach? I have 2 coaches right now, and I'm actually looking at a third for other things. Coaches are incredible because first of all, it's fun. You get to be with other people doing the same thing, and they've got your back all the time, and they are a separate set of eyes to see things you don't. Because here's the thing, if you really want it, find someone who's already done it. Why would you waste all these decades of time trying to struggle? Oh my gosh. Find someone who knows how to do it and just follow them. Or get an accountability partner and you both do it together. So number 5 is get a good sleep. Okay, so this is super, super important, is to get a good sleep. And what we talked about was my journey into how tired I was not getting the sleep. Now I am, and I literally do feel 20. Okay. So after what I've just shared with you, I would love to hear, I'm going to stop this right now. I would love to hear. So look who just popped in. Hi, Reese.
Hello.
How'd it go?
Good. Fun at immigration.
Thanks for joining. So here we, so actually you've come right at the end. So I did all the heavy lifting, but at least you're here. It's okay. It's okay. These things come up. We have to just work with stuff, right? So what I'm asking the audience is, I've shared with them exactly, Reese, why we're gaining weight and the solution to actually start to lose it and keep it off for good. You can learn it, but really, what's the action step you're going to take? One action step of everything I've shared. So I've got Tamara here. She's chiming in. Thank you, Tamara. And again, Rona, if you're still here, we'd love to hear from you. I think you geared this to me. Oh, okay. Sleep and getting off track and needing determination. Yeah, I know. I know what it feels like not to have your sleep. It super sucks. And there's so much. It's like you're knuckle fisting your way. Okay. So it's like, okay, but why aren't I sleeping? What is the biggest reason? Oh, maybe I'm eating too late at night. Because what happens is if we eat too late at night, the body goes, oh, woohoo, let's go and burn off this energy. Let's go, go into town. It's giving you're giving the body energy to do something with it. So but then if you go to bed, you're up. Because the body doesn't want to go to bed. It wants to go do something. It's like a kid. Okay. So that's one thing maybe you want to think about that I think is pretty common. The other one is blue light, 100% blue light. So it's a lifestyle thing. And it's difficult because most people are on their computers, on their phones, watching TV, Netflix. Like, how often do you hear this? Well, we are at an epidemic of sleep deprivation. That's why there's all these books on sleep. So you're not alone, Tamara. But really, we have to go. My sleep is more important than my tablet. They can wait. I can watch the movie tomorrow, right? Or I can look at this tomorrow. So I am really vigilant at this, and I tell you, it works. So if I do work at night, though, I have blue light blocking glasses that work for my body. There's some good ones and not so good ones. But for the most part, I actually read now, and I'm very excited about reading. Yeah. And I go to hit the pillow, tired, wake up, I'm done. Like I wake up and go, oh my God, I feel so amazing. Okay. So I don't know what's happening with you, but I know that maybe if you look at those things and then take action, just take action step. Any other aha moments with anybody from what I've just shared today? Okay, well, I'm going to finish up with the training right now. So one moment. I know a lot of people work. They'll be watching the replay. So this is good.
Yeah.
So here you are. You have a choice. Who do you want to be, right? If you keep doing what you're doing, where's that going to go? You really need to look at that. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be the end of the day. Did you live the life that you wanted to live? Okay. How excited are you about about your life that you did, right? And so do you have any regrets? Here's the thing. You can turn it around right now, just like Mike did. Okay. So Mike, he literally put his hand up and went, yeah, I need help. You know what? It's okay to ask for help. Okay. I ask for help all the time if I need help. It's fine. We need to ask for more help. And so now Mike is enjoying the life that he wanted in retirement. He's got time, he's got energy, he's got his body back. He has peace of mind knowing that he's not going to be in the hospital, right? That's the other piece of this whole thing. And he feels amazing. So again, I encourage you to check out his body transformation story. It's in Facebook, in your Facebook group, but it's also on YouTube as well. And just see for yourself, like how much joy he has now. So maybe that would motivate you. And just a quick little tip. I do have a body transformation program, and it really is, there are 9 steps to get to your best body. And really, it doesn't even take that long if you know what you're doing. And it's one simple step at a time. So this is the program that I have available. If you are wanting to put your hand up and you need some help, you want some help, you're like, listen, I do want a coach. I don't know what to do. I want to know what to do because I want to live my best life. For sure, reach out to me because this is what I absolutely love to do. And what it means is just a quick little call. It's a free call. And so I can get to know even if I can help you. And even just for us to meet, right? It's just a quick little chat. It's a free call. And this is what I'm offering for free, just for you being here. All right. So I do want to thank you so much for taking the time. We were 45 minutes. That was a long time. Hopefully you've learned some things. And as I mentioned to you before, we are here to help. And we see there's a lot of problems out there and a lot of people struggling doing the wrong things, but they want to do the right things. It just takes somebody who can show you how, okay? And to believe in you and to show you the way, okay? And then magic happens just like with Mike. So if there's any more comments or questions, we're happy to see them. And if not, we're going to see you next week. I think you'll be here next week.
I'll be here.
Unless something happens, and that's life. It's okay. We have to course correct when we need to. It's fine. So thanks very much for your time. And we will see you next week, every week, Wednesday, 3 p.m. EST. Okay, we'll see ya.
See you later.